Greetings and welcome back to Victoria 3. This is another episode of our run in Ethiopia, and I will say that things are now running nicely, meaning that in the previous episode we mainly focused on our economy, on the trade, on the buildings that are available in the empire, and also, for example, on the different production method. And we found some kind of balance that right now it seems to work. Just to mention a very big improvement that we had in the course of the last episode, we finally managed to build the first piece of railway in the country here in Gondar. And this already helped significantly improving the infrastructure in the state, which currently has a low market access. For the same reason, I have also listed here another piece of railway here in Somaliland. This will also help, for example, dealing with all the iron that we are currently extracting here in Somaliland. Coming to the coal, I also already started to list the first coal mines in the country because we already have the possibility to extract a little bit of coal from some of the acquired territories, I think from here if I remember well, but of course it's a very small amount of coal, so we don't really have the possibility to get a lot of coal from the domestic market. That's why right now we are also trading coal, but as soon as we will have the chance we will also start a little bit to produce it internally to, let's say, reduce the dependency that we have from the market. But for the moment I really need to pile up again gold reserve. If I will resume the building now, you will see that the budget will rapidly sink. So let's first collect some gold again, and then we will have another phase of building. We have a 27% of enactment success chance for landed voting. So let's see if we can manage to pass this law, and let's see what will be the impact on our society. And there is a new diplomatic play in Zanj. This time it's France against Merina Kingdom, and we are of course obliged to support them because we have a defensive pact with Merina Kingdom. This is actually interesting because of course we are not strong enough to face this war, and it was not my intention to have wars in this period. As I've mentioned in the past, I'm trying to avoid wars right now because I really want to focus on the development of the country. Moreover, we already had a war against France and we have been destroyed. Only in February of 1885 I will have the possibility to end the defensive pact with Merina Kingdom. But at least we have Great Britain on our side this time, so it's the first power against the second, plus Merina Kingdom and Ethiopia. Okay, this is interesting. In theory here I will have the chance to move away from the alliance and the obligation that we have towards Merina Kingdom, but this will damage our relationship and I don't want to do it anyway because, I don't know, maybe we have the chance with the support of Great Britain. So let's see. Let's honor our defensive pact. Let's start mobilizing all our army. I placed them all on defense because we are way stronger on defense than attack, so it might help. War with France has broken out. So this is France versus Merina Kingdom, Ethiopia, Great Britain, Bunyoro and Karagwe. We could also attack because I can see here that they have basically 0 on the front, so let's do it. Let's take our revenge on this country. If you remember the episode when they defeated us, I told that we would have had our revenge there. Let's rapidly move to defense, by the way, because now they moved some generals there, it seems. Crude connection, frustrated with the lengthy legal process surrounding landed voting, Demisi Makonnen of landowners, this should be the general, right? Yeah. Has approached us with an offer to expedite the process utilizing his personal connection within the state apparatus. Let's grant him permission. Time is of the essence. And of course we are struggling defending our borders, but I can still see that Merina Kingdom is leading. We won the first battles, but then we rapidly lost all the others once they reinforced the front. You see now they have 191 versus 31, and of course they have also better technology and everything. So now Marina Kingdom is losing position. Convoys raided, unhealthy economy. They raided our convoys, of course, because we do not have a navy to defend. But right now Marina Kingdom is still doing well. I refuse to capitulate this time. So we will support Marina Kingdom until possible. They are leading. Nihilism. An anti-clerical and anti-monarchist movement known as nihilism has taken hold among the intelligentsia. Led by Haile Vossen, these dangerous thinkers are sure to be a thorn in the side of the status quo. Perhaps they have a point. We could increase the popularity of intelligentsia. This is treason, heresy. The state must ban nihilism literature. No. Perhaps they have a point. And France has now a negative war score. So even though we are suffering in our territory, we are still keeping France busy and helping Marina. Minus 23%. I will not capitulate. Peace treaty. Here we are. Let's see. So in the end, France gave up. So the decision of remaining in the war for the entire time was successful, even though of course they damaged our economy during this conflict by raiding our clippers. But still, in the end, Marina Kingdom managed to impose war reparation on France. And we had, of course, a crisis in our GDP with this war, but at least we honor our pact. And I think it was important for France to understand that they are not unbeatable. I mean, we weren't the one defeating them, but still, we had our small revenge on France, which is, of course, satisfying. Now let's try to increase our economy again. And here there is another diplomatic play, this time in Congo. It's France against Portugal, basically. Also here, it might be a good chance, because if they are busy with Portugal, they will conquer Portugal here, they will have to fight here, and then we might have a chance to penetrate in their territory, but most likely we know that this is never going to happen, so not my problem. Declare neutrality, yes. I think that we should also search here. Central banking might be good, because it increased the minting. Democracy without the people. Proponents of universal suffrage have argued that the ongoing reform to landed voted is an insufficient compromise, excluding many people from the right to participate in democracy. That's right. No, but this will increase the radicalism. No. We should focus on our current reform, which is a clear improvement. Yeah, one step at a time. But at least the number of radicals right now is going down. And the economy is again running properly. And we have lost position again in the ranks, and because of that we are also losing the interest, but I think it's temporary, because the GDP is going up again, so we should be able to improve again the situation and go up the ranks. Let's say that we have lost some position because of the war with France, that of course had a big impact on our GDP, because it stopped our economy for some time. It was quite unhealthy because all the convoys were getting raided, but now we are back on the right track. We even have a plus 7k. I can decrease the taxes and increase the salary again. We have also collected some gold. Yeah, we are again 35 in the ranks, as I was saying, and the GDP is skyrocketing. We are now 19 in the world. We are about to complete the second railway in the country, which will help the infrastructure of Somaliland, and then we can see how we can improve further with the iron mines, etc. And maybe we will also be able to start building clippers, because I see that they are right now quite expensive in the Ethiopian market. Here in the meantime we have dye works accident. That's of course unfortunate. Several workers died today at the Ethiopian Rift Valley dye works when an industrial sized tub of hot dye accidentally spilled out over the workshop floor, and the unsuspecting workers, wow, terrible. I don't want radical. I will give trade unions a little bit of political strength. Unfortunately, mortality increase, but that was unavoidable. Also, the other option will have increased the mortality. And we now have landed voting. Very good. Plus 150 of authority, plus 20 of legitimacy. Intelligentsia and industrialists approve this law. Very good. Legitimacy is at 67%, and now as you can see, we have the parties. Fantastical. Now we have a constitutional empire. Fantastic. I might want to bring the Liberal Party because there is the intelligentsia. I'm not too happy that petite bourgeoisie is there as well. Then we have Conservative Party with the landowners, and their clout went down to 32%. Very good. If we take them out, let's do something like this. Industrialist, and then the Liberal Party. National Guard, this is interesting. Armed forces and petite bourgeoisie will support it, and they are the government anyway. Intelligentsia, on the other hand, will be unhappy with this. It will reduce significantly the risk of revolution. That's not bad. I'm tempted, but then it means I think it will inactivate another institution, right? Yeah, Home Affairs institution. Yeah, we can move maybe to dedicated police force. The effect will be minus 5% of radicals for standard of living decrease, and minus 15% of state penalties from turmoil. And there is more people supporting this than opposing this. Plus, 2 intergroups support that. Armed forces and petite bourgeoisie both in the government. Let's try to enact this. The grand plan pays off. The description of this event is quite generic. Ethiopia shall reap the rewards. This is also good. Minus 10% of loan interest rate. I mean, this is not particularly interesting because I always avoid to start collecting credit. But then it increased the gold reserve limit, which is not bad. Let's go here. And that the beauty is that now that we have the infrastructure, the railway in Somaliland, Somaliland finally reached Ethiopian market 100%. This is great. Also because we are using the railway for the transportation of iron, of course. We have the iron mines here, which is great. Something happened to the game. Now it's all black. Okay, let me do one thing. Return to the game. No. Let's go back to the main menu and try to reload. I'm not sure what happened there. I was just checking the option for the treaty ports in the diplomacy. And the map then became all black. Okay. Luckily now it's restored. Must have been some kind of bug with the new patch that they have released. Elections. We had the first election of the Empire of Ethiopia. The Liberal Party won the election with 61% of preferences. Our Ethiopian dream is shaping. And I should take at some point some time for conquering this remaining states that are still part of our strategic region. Maybe we could make a quick war against Arar. That should be a low-hanging fruit. Egypt might join, but I don't think they will, honestly. Let's confirm. Let's move already all general to the front, because I want them ideally to simply back down and give us the win. Ah, wait, they have an ally. This is good because then I will try to take the chance also to conquer Velega. The Oriental Orthodox Church have expressed their concern about government decision clearly favoring the interest of industrialists. They need to accept that we cannot always please everyone. So let's go back to our war. Ah, they simply gave up. They were getting the support of Welega and they immediately gave up. Okay. Okay. Inefficient agriculture. The industrialists have started complaining about the existence of subsistence farm in Oromia, stating that their undeniable inefficiency should be immediately addressed. We should follow their advice, so that's an easy pick. And we went up to the rank 30 now. The GDP is again going up. In all of this, the dedicated police force reached 44% of enactment success chance. Time to see if the dedicated police force will be approved. 45% of chances. Yes, we have it. +2 of max level of law enforcement institution, but I will not increase it. -5% of radicals from standard of living decrease, and -15% of state penalties from turmoil. Very good. And let's take a look at the laws, what we could pass now. We cannot have slavery banned yet. So the choice, I think, is between serfdom abolished, we could try 40% versus 34%, or to have restricted child labor. Let's try first with the serfdom. No. Considering that we already have high radicalism because of the local police force, in combination also with the serfdom abolished, that's a bit too much to ask to the Ethiopian society at this point. So let's cancel this. Let's try with child labor, restricted child labor. Maybe we are lucky here. Maybe they are less sensitive. Yes, okay. And here we have proposal of trade agreement with Great Britain. If I was Paradox Interactive, what I will add here in the accept and decline is a little overlay when you leave your mouse on to actually see what will be the impact in terms of tariff given your current trade routes. That's something that it should be easy to implement because they already have this kind of logic implemented in other parts of the game where they're showing you if you pass this, what will be the impact on your budget. They should do the same also for the trade agreement when you get the trade agreement. I think it will be good, but we right now need more money. So for the moment, let's decline the offer. Very kind of you, Great Britain. Might be very interesting to get access to all your resources without paying tariffs, but for the moment I also need to get money from the tariff, so I will decline. Cross-border investment. Ethiopian industrialists are investing in Borana industry. Okay, let's say that it's an excellent investment, but Borana right now is not our territory, so try to invest in our territory rather than in Borana, but even though at some point we will annex also Borana, so it's kind of okay-ish. Central banking unlocked. This gives us additional resources in the budget, as you can see, because we have basically increased this chapter here. Not bad at all. Emperor intervenes in political process. No, we will not try to push our will. So this means that for the restricted child labor, we will get a -10% of enactment success chance, which basically brings us to 0. So it's pointless to focus on this law. And I will say that probably with this, we can end the episode for today. So as I was highlighting before, I think that the Ethiopian economy is going very well right now. We really managed to move up in the ranks, so I'm quite satisfied. For the moment, I'm just going to focus on the development of my Utopia, but feel free to keep calling it Ethiopia. And with this, guys, I think there is really nothing else that I can add. So yes, let's close it here for today. I hope to see you in the next videos. Cheers, guys.